seersucker soup on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Well, welcome to Capital Region Today. I'm so happy that you're joining us today. We have a great lineup, as always, lots of things going on in our community, and I want you all to know what's going on. We're going to be talking about an original production coming up in Albany that will be playing in Albany, and we have that group on, and then we have the Albany Symphony on. A wonderful organization, and we're going to find out more about where they're going to be performing. We are also going to be talking about Gift of Life, which has to do with heart issues and helping people, young children, and we'll learn more about that. Alexander's Feast is coming. That's Handel's performance, and we'll be talking with the Saratoga Voices about that. And then we're going to be talking about the Walk-N-Roll, which is Spina Bifida. They're having a big fundraiser coming up as well. So we have a lot going on, but we're going to start right out with Carol Durant. Carol's been on our show before, and she's been involved in a number of things. She's an amazing woman, and she's a playwright. Right, Carol?
I am Amperillo.
So you wrote a play.
I wrote a play, Drive to Live in Albany.
Yeah,
like we all are. Oh, no, not everybody in Schenectady, but us in Albany.
Yeah, well, actually, today we're doing Albany, Schenectady, Saratoga. We're doing it all.
Okay.
So, yeah, we do it all.
Capital Region.
That's what we are. So tell me what made you think about writing a play about this issue? It had to do with bringing people into our area. Is that correct?
Correct. It was part of a larger piece, and it was a grant funding from the Advance Albany County Alliance, and I thankfully was one of the individual artists that was able to land the grant, and it is about Albany and coming to Albany and living in Albany and visiting Albany by a black family who in 1952 specifically, they are having this conversation.
Okay, and is this something you are personally aware of, or is this something that actually happened? Tell us a little bit more.
It has some elements of the background of people that I know, both personally as well as just having conversations with people who live in the Capital District throughout. I've been here since the 1990 specifically. Okay. And just how they came to Albany, how they landed here, how they raised their kids, how they thrived, and what made them want to come and then stay, of course.
Yes, and who did you bring with you today?
Well, I have two of the most fabulous people on the planet, which one unfortunately could not attend. Sheilah London Miller, who is co-director with Hassan Harris Wilcher, and the fabulous Amelia Paul. She is our stage
she's been
manager.
On the show before, yeah.
Yes, well, Amelia does it all. Sheilah does it all. Hassan, we miss you, and he does it all as well. Okay. So
another time.
Hopefully, right. Yes. Sheilah, co-director. Amelia, stage management. Volunteers, which everyone in our cast and crew is, and they are wonderful human beings, and I look forward to everyone in the Capital Region seeing all their hard work be realized May 29th and May 30th.
Right, 2 days, and that's at Albany over at where the former St. Rose.
Yes, yeah. The Interfaith Sanctuary, 959 Madison Avenue, at the former College of St. Rose campus.
Right. Okay, Sheilah.
Yes.
You
Hello.
are the director.
I am.
And how many are in the production? And tell me how you feel about it.
Well, there's 6 main characters, and I actually love this play. It is a story, like she said, about a family from Harlem who decided to relocate and move upstate to Albany, of all places.
Good choice.
It's a great choice. I can relate to the story a lot. Being raised in Queens and then our family moving to Albany, New York.
Okay, so that you kind of did the thing.
Absolutely. And working with each one of these characters is a joy. I've been in theater forever, and I wear many hats. I've done acting on stage, off stage, costuming, makeup, set decoration, and I work with another theater troupe in both capacities. So I've worked with a lot of these actors on stage, off stage, or behind stage. So I get to explore things about them that I didn't know before, as in return they do the same with me. They're a talented group. I think when you come, not if you come, when you come see this, you will relate in some way, some fashion. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna say, get attitude. You might poot a little from laughing so hard, but it's been a joy working with
So who are some of the
our
actors?
stage. I'm sorry.
I can tell you that.
Yes, let's talk about our actors.
We got some heavy hitters.
Okay, so
Heavy
you're going to
hitters.
take over. Yeah.
We got Regina
Yeah.
Robinson.
Regina Wright Robinson.
Regina Wright Robinson. We have Dawn Harris.
Yes,
We have Alvin Kershaw.
yes.
We have Leo Dewan. We have Cuba LaSales. And we have Xavier Luke. And all of them are fantastic. Their
Absolutely.
energy off stage and on stage.
Absolutely. Q, she plays Connie. She's the youngest girl in the cast.
Right.
And she's kind of sassy and tells the parental units what to do.
Right.
And then we have Leo.
Yeah.
He's the father.
Yes.
Yes, and you've seen Leo and Regina Wright in productions here in the Capital Region. They both were in Dreamgirls, if you've seen that, and so therefore you will recognize them when you see them, and they're both sassy. And then we have Maddie, one of the sisters, who is she's a hairstylist. She doesn't really want to come to upstate New York. She's like, what? You want to leave Harlem, the New York City, to move to Albany? So it's that kind of flair. And then we have the young son. He's kind of militant, but he's preppy. But he still doesn't want to leave New York either.
Carol,
So
you got
it's
a nice
joy.
balance of characters then.
Yes.
She really does.
I
Yes.
tried very hard to, as my background, I'm a poet, but I've also acted, stage managed, I've directed my own, but this was not a situation that I wanted to be all of the hats. I
No.
wanted to reach out into the community, and thankfully I was able to do that, and everyone signed on. Obviously their checks cleared because they're giving me all the love, but it definitely is a positive
It is.
all the way around, just to make sure that everyone gets to show their talent, do the thing that they do, which is just be themselves, but insert themselves into the character.
Right. Raymond, maybe we can bring up the slide with the flyer so that people can see where it is and what time it is. There it is, right there. And it's called Drive to Live in Albany. I love the car on it. So anyway, and that tells you where it is and the date and the time and the price, which
Absolutely.
is pretty reasonable.
Yes.
for a
It
place.
really, really is.
Yeah,
I mean, you
and
guys,
it encourage. Now, I always ask people the same, or any production, the same question. Age group.
It's for all ages, it's family friendly. It definitely has points of view that people can discuss amongst themselves after the show. There is definitely an educational component that is weaved throughout the play and will be answered in some way in the interior of the production. We do have banners that address some of the situations that have been heard, buildings that will be seen and talked about in both Albany and in Manhattan.
Yeah, this is interesting, and I know that you've done a lot in our community with the Underground Railroad, and you've also with the Cherry Hill, I think too. So you kind of have a good history background of things going on too.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, and I, again, shout out to the community who I have enlisted, made phone calls, sent email, as of Sheilah and Amelia and everybody else who's part of the production, who they are like, okay, Carol, How can we help?
How can we help? What
How can we
do?
help? What can we do?
So is there going to be like a set? I mean, how is it? So
Yes,
who's
it's-
doing the set? Because I always like to know who's doing the set. Give them a shout out.
We have Jacob Bell, who he is a U Albany alum. He is on our team, and we are thankful to have him. He has great ideas, and we look forward to you all seeing what we know that's going to happen.
With
the
every
set.
production, there are so many people involved, whether it's lighting and sound, and there's the actors and the writer and the playwright. I mean, there's so much that we have to celebrate. And sometimes we forget, that
We
there's
do.
so many other people that are selling the tickets and
Absolutely.
doing whatever it is and sweeping up the stage afterwards and breaking down the sets.
Absolutely.
So
And it
we
is a
want to
joy
give them all a
working.
big shout out for
Yeah.
what they do
Absolutely,
to help
absolutely.
you. And I know that you must get a lot of love. So-
I was going to say we really love On Carol. We
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
And a lot of our actors are like right out of the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm a
he
very
is so
part
great,
of that.
isn't
Thank
he?
you.
Yeah.
I'm also the
Remy
president
is
of that
so
board.
wonderful, yeah.
And I act as well, and I will be taking on a more artistic role in the future as one of the associate artistic directors.
Wonderful.
So I'm very happy to represent Black Theater Troupe.
we'll
a lot
see
of
you
our
on the
actors
show
were-
again.
So you'll see us, and you'll know. And in the background, they're doing costumes, they're moving sets, they're working,
Right.
and so it's all a family thing,
Yeah.
So it fits into the whole drive to live to Albany, but we drive to bring theater into the capital
Yes,
region
and
in a bigger and
thank
better
you
way.
for doing what you do. And Carol, thank you for coming to the show and bringing these lovely ladies with you and to tell us about your production coming up. And it's on the 29th and 30th. Get a ticket. Support.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Support.
Come
Get a
and bring your
ticket.
family, bring your friends.
Bring the whole family and friends.
Fill the theater, right?
That's
Absolutely.
it. Fill it up.
We're going to switch over to another place in Albany, the Albany Symphony. You just won a prize, didn't you? At the Eddies?
Oh yes, we did. We
Tell
did.
me about that.
Well, we love the Eddies. We love what they do for the area, and it's always a joy to get to represent the symphony there. I mean, getting to recognize all of the arts that we have happening in the capital region, case in point, is so terrific. And so we're so grateful to proctors and everybody who comes together to make that happen. I mean, and it's an honor for us because the Albany Symphony, as we know, as everyone knows, we strive to bring the highest level of instrumental and orchestral art to the area that we can. So, I mean, to see our work recognized and that something we're doing is working well is so gratifying.
Yeah, I saw that and I said, I must mention that.
Yes,
because that's
thank you.
Such a nice thing to
Thank you.
have seen. Now,
Yeah.
where do you get your musicians? Are these in the area, or do they come from outside the area?
We have from all
Because
different
I know
locations.
it's wonderful. You have a
Thank you.
wonderful
Yes.
symphony. Yeah.
Right. And I think one of the things that I really value about what the Albany Symphony does for our area is that we bring musicians from all different parts. We have lots of locals. We have some people who took an audition 20 years ago and moved to the area, and now this is where they call home. And then we also have musicians coming from New York City, of course, from Boston. We have some coming from Atlanta, from Georgia. And I think that exchange
Wow.
is
Yeah.
really fabulous because that means we're bringing just new ideas, new sort of cultural reference points all the time to have that mixing, that melting pot, which is always what makes strong arts, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you're here to talk about what's coming up in the summer.
Yeah, our
And
free
you're doing it
concerts.
in Rome and in Waterford. So tell me a little bit about that and what
Sure.
is it going to be the same thing for each of those places? Tell me a little bit.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
So yes and no.
Okay.
So the project is called Water Music New York, More Voices, and it's a commission from the New York State Canal Corporation. We're very lucky to get to partner with them, and they're fabulous partners. And this is part of a project of theirs that's been ongoing where they're reimagining the canals as a linear park with a huge emphasis on recreation, accessibility, and arts. I've really come to respect and value the Canal Corporation in the way that they're actually investing in artists along the canal. Case in point is us. So this will be the culmination of just recently a 3-year series where we performed in different canal side locations. So this summer we have 3 free concerts. The first will be right in Waterford, just north of Troy, on July 11th, and it'll be a free concert with afternoon activities starting at 3 p.m. So you will have different nature organizations. There'll be an art installation from Collar Works, again that respect for the arts. And it'll culminate in the Albany Symphony performing at 8 p.m. 90-minute set. We'll have some, tunes you know and love, Sousa, some classical pops that recognize America 250, of course, and then we always have a few other just kind of fun numbers. The orchestra, it'll be a smaller ensemble with two fabulous singers, and they always have these really high energy pieces.
So you had vocalists as well.
Yes, we do.
So who are your vocalists?
Britt Hewitt and Devaney Smith. They've collaborated with the Dogs of Desire ensemble for a number of years. Very talented women who have exciting careers elsewhere as well. And I could talk more about them, but it's so exciting to have the vocalists because they also bring to life the pieces that vary from place to place. So we actually bring a composer to each site for a number of site visits in the lead up to the performance,
wow.
and then the composer writes a piece for and about the host community. And then our vocalists
Really?
get to tell a story. So for example, in Waterford, we put out a call to all different community groups, the schools, the library, the senior center, and they wrote poems about eagles because Peebles Island had a really successful eagle rehabilitation project. That's actually will celebrate 50 years and the eagle population is strong. So that community is really proud, and we got beautiful poems that the composer is setting and that the vocalists will bring to life in that performance. And
That's
then
amazing.
It's really exciting to see this happen. Yeah.
But I saw something about a drone.
Thank you. Yes, and we're so
What
excited.
is going on?
Well, we are so excited to bring a drone show to the end of every free concert.
What is a drone show?
I'm so glad you asked. A drone show, there are a lot of different iterations. People are really experimenting with this as a public art and display form. And it uses light up drones. People are really into drone photography. And here the drones
They
have
put lights on the drone.
lights
See,
on the
I know
drones.
nothing about this, so I'm just going to ask a lot of dumb questions.
Good. It's kind of an alternative to a fireworks display, and it actually happens to be much more environmentally friendly for a number of different reasons. One of the primary ones being the explosions can really disrupt wildlife in a fireworks display. In a drone show, you have this little buzz of the drones flying into the air, but otherwise it is much less impactful.
Wouldn't scare dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dogs are happy. The environment is more happy. These are all electric, so there's no gas or any of that combustion happening. And yes, so they put lights on the
won't start a
drones.
fire.
Won't start a fire. On occasion, the drone will have a mishap, and you'll see it fall from the sky, and it's like a shooting star, a falling star.
A mishap. Ooh.
Technology, we're always improving upon it. And the points of light change color, and we had a beautiful couple of displays last year, and it's really exciting to get to share these with communities. This is such a new art form. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're taking a really creative approach to it this year. So I'm
Will
really
it be
excited.
the same show for every?
It will.
Yeah.
It will. And for those stalwarts who want to come to all of them, we're in Waterford on July 10th, and then Rome, New York, just a hop, skip, and another skip over west on July 11th. And then for the really invested, you got to come out to the Tonawandas. That's North Tonawanda and the city of Tonawanda by Buffalo on August 15th. The drone show in all locations.
And you got the same orchestra moving through all of it.
Mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of different players who are available because, of course, life happens. So we have a terrific bench of folks who we can slot
How long have
in.
you been working with the Albany Symphony?
I've been here 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
You like working with them, huh?
It's so exciting. I love getting to work in the nonprofit sector and bringing arts to the community, and I get to focus on these community engagements, which have so much impact. There's a phrase that we've been seeing a lot in orchestral and other art forms called civic practice, which is where you take your art and talk to your host community about what they need to show off, how we can support them or highlight things that they're doing, even helping advance various civic projects. And the water music program, I feel like, is
That's
an
a wonderful
incredible
one, yeah.
example of that.
And it's a give back show.
Exactly.
It's a give back. So how do you raise your funds for this?
Well, we're very lucky. This is primarily a commission from the New York State Canal Corporation, and it's part of their Reimagine promotional aspect to
So they
bring
support
this.
that,
They
yeah.
support this, and then we also, of course, are asking various host communities for little supplements as possible. I know we have a lot of great supporters already who've signed on
Yeah.
to help underwrite
To-
it because
to
it is a
underwrite.
large undertaking.
Well,
to be
it is
sure.
because travel, and you're talking about, and of course people
Absolutely.
forget you got to buy music. I mean, there's so many.
The rent, yes, yes, exactly.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the production. It's a huge project. So we are so lucky and grateful, and I find it exciting to bring together all those different pieces that make it possible.
Now, this seems like an odd question, but I know when you do a play, you have to pay royalties. The music you use, you don't have to pay royalties.
Oh,
right?
it very much depends. So I mean,
Or
with
arrangements, is that it? Yeah.
arrangements, we'll pay for arrangements. We'll certainly rent music for scores and different parts.
What do you mean by renting music? I
Well,
don't understand that.
Sure. There are different companies that manage scores for artists whose work is still under copyright. And so we'll rent from them. Because one of the things I also value is we work with a lot of living composers.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, and Beethoven is fabulous and we have to play him. But it's good to give fresh music a chance.
Yeah. No, not only that, but you're highlighting people that are still alive and they can still hear their music.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of young composers, which is really exciting to have that energy.
Yeah. Now, what do you do for? I know we're talking summer, and maybe it's too early to talk about. But when do you start your 26-27 season?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, opening night will be October 1st, but there's a lot happening the rest of this spring. So next week, actually, we have our Tiny Tots concerts for our littlest listeners.
Really? I did not
it's
know.
It's a 45-minute set.
Where?
It'll be at Beth Emeth here in Albany, or in Albany, excuse me, and then at the SPAC School of the Arts in Saratoga, Monday,
What
Tuesday,
a great
Wednesday.
idea.
So those are
and
morning
what kind
time.
of music for the Tiny Tots?
Well, it's really great. This year it'll be the Parking Lot Show, and it's where Cowboy Dave, David Allen Miller, shows
so
this.
good.
He's so great.
Amazing
His
man.
kids programming is incredible. He shows this parking lot tycoon who wants to build a parking lot where the orchestra's playing. That really music is powerful, and so they play little bits from Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, all these just little samples. So kids get to start having it in their ears.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up with classical music being played.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like it's just so great for kids. I mean, used to be you watch cartoons and they always played the classical music.
Yes, right.
That was many years
That
ago.
was my introduction too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly. Bugs Bunny and all.
My favorite.
Good. I want to thank you so much, Lily, for being here and to telling us about what's going on. And I love the free concerts. And
Yes,
there's
come
no
out.
reason why you, as a viewer, can't go to one of the concerts. And granted, you're local, so go to Waterford.
Go to
Waterford's not very far.
Waterford.
Just go over the
Right
river there.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much for having
And
me. It's
thank
been a
you
pleasure.
for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show and to talk about music, of course. We've been
Yes.
talking about art, we talk about music.
It's so great.
And now we're going to talk medical. Hey, we do everything here.
That's fantastic. Thank you so
Lily.
much, Anne.
Yeah, so good. So, Tom, I'm so happy that you're on the show because I heard about the gift of life. Who doesn't want the gift of life, right? Especially someone from another country that can't get it, right?
That's right.
So tell me what you do.
Our mission is to help children who are born with congenital heart defects around the world. 1 in 100 children around the world are born with a congenital heart defect. In the United States, those children get operated on at a very young age, maybe 2 or 3 months old to 2 years old, and they go on to live a normal, happy, healthy life. It's very possible that you know several people who were born with congenital heart defects because it's 1 in 100 around the world.
Yeah.
But in developing nations, those folks don't have access to medical intervention. They don't have access to the hospital system that we have and the doctor system that we have. So those children...
They live in rural areas, or just it doesn't make any difference where they live?
It could be a city, but a very poor city. So we've done programs in Honduras and the Philippines and the Dominican Republic, our outgoing programs, and we also have incoming children from Honduras and Mongolia.
You just had one recently.
We just had Bearchimeg, who came from Mongolia, a 2.5-year-old little girl, a beautiful little girl, who her father was very skeptical of sending her halfway around the world to get a free operation. I don't think he believed that it was actually going to happen
really
that way.
didn't think? I mean,
it took 2
he
years.
didn't know.
It took 2 years to convince him, and he didn't know.
2 years to convince him to help his daughter.
Yeah, and he was just very skeptical and very protective, and everybody can understand that part. But he did
And
finally...
cultures are different.
Yes, Yep.
So you have to respect.
They live in Mongolia and in the plains area. They're herders, and they live in.
How did you even find?
We have a partnership with Samaritan's Purse, and Samaritan's Purse has on-the-ground programs in Mongolia and Honduras and El Salvador, and they source the children. They have there's markers, if you will, for children who have a congenital heart defect. It could be just from a medical checkup. A child will also get very tired when they're trying to run around and they squat down, and that's a marker of having a congenital heart defect.
Oh, okay.
So when somebody sees that and they notify medical personnel, Berchebek, by the way, her family lives a 24-hour car ride from the nearest hospital. Okay, so they're remote. They are in the middle of nowhere in Mongolia, and they have a gert that they need to move 3 times a year to follow the herds for their grazing patterns. So
they live in tents, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, the Erts are, yeah.
Yeah, and so Samaritan's Purse has a program. I saw the picture of their gert, and they said there's a village nearby. I didn't see anything. It was just
That's
pure
their idea
plains.
of a village,
yeah,
right?
And so Samaritan's Purse found her and brought her here to Albany Medical Center through the Gift of Life. And so we raise funds to pay for that operation at Albany Medical Center.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful program. She was here about 4 days and then went into surgery. And she's a very happy, healthy little girl today.
Is she still here, or is she gone?
She just went home about 10 days ago.
I have to ask you, did her dad come with her?
Her dad did not come with her. Nope.
Really?
It's the
no
mom.
wonder he was so anxious.
It's one parent. Usually it's the mom and an interpreter.
Okay.
So Samaritan's Purse does a great job of
He was working.
He was working. He was minding the animals. Yeah. So, but we have some pictures of them reuniting, and he has a big smile on his face, and he's very, very happy. So, Berchebek was. She was always very tired, didn't have a lot of energy because her heart had what we call a hole in it. And really what it is, it's when the heart pumps blood from one ventricle to another,
goes back.
There's a hole in between the two ventricles and it pumps back into the first ventricle. So her heart works a lot harder than yours or mine. And she gets very, very tired. Well, within about 10 days after the operation, she was doing the little dance and she would not stop doing that dance. And her mother said, that's never happened before. She has never done that little dance. And so she was just a very happy, healthy little girl who we were happy to send her right back to her home and with her mom and dad and live out the rest of her life.
I hope your dad took a picture and said, yay.
We did. We have some pictures of him. He's a little stoic, actually, but he was very happy to see her.
Well, like I said, we're dealing with different cultures.
Yes.
And, and he's protective. He doesn't know. He's probably not even aware of maybe a lot of geography or things like, Mongolia is pretty out there.
Almost on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So it was about a 20-hour trip for them to get, 24-hour trip for them to get from there to here, and it was a long trip. And Samaritan's Purse has medical personnel on the flights.
Oh, they have medical personnel.
So if somebody, and we brought a child in probably 8 or 10 years ago who had an issue on the plane, and the medical personnel was able to rectify the situation. There also happened to be a doctor and 2 nurses on the plane who also helped. But if it wasn't for those people being there, that child would have died en route to us.
And then you couldn't have helped them anyway.
It would be over, yeah.
So how many children do you help?
It's a good question.
Is it like 1 a year or 1 or 2 a year? Or what are we looking at? Because first of all, it's dependent on how much money you get.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about your fundraiser, but let's talk about this.
Sure. Yeah. So we do 2 things. We have an incoming program where we bring a child from a developing nation into Albany and Albany Medical Center and operate on them. Those operations are in the tens of thousands of dollars. They're very they're costly operations, okay? And we fund those from donations from the public, and we're closely associated with Rotary. A lot of Rotarians and Rotary clubs help fund us, but we also accept donations from the public. And one of the nice things about having the mom and the child here is everybody gets to see what is going on and see the transformation from a very sick child who has blue around her mouth and blue hands, and then after the operation, after the operations, her hands were just so white and clear. It was beautiful. So.
Oh, that's why the photo with the hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Did you see that, Raymond? There was the hands there. Why don't you bring that photo up and maybe we can talk about that? Yeah.
Are we looking at it backwards?
Yeah.
So there's the hands. You can see the ones where her hands are up, the palms have her. They're very blue, and they almost look bruised. They're not bruised.
Yeah, they do. I thought they were bruised.
No, it's just the blue from not circulating the oxygen in her body, and then the other with her hand on top of her mom's is post-operation, and you can see the dramatic difference.
Yeah.
So she has great circulation.
I wondered what those photos were. I mean, it was like there were no explanations. Well, they must mean something.
Yeah, and the picture in the middle is Archimeg, and she's just a beautiful little girl who is so happy. What a happy little child. So she was wonderful to have here. And we, I think of this as the ultimate good deed. If you're walking into a building and somebody's behind you, you hold the door for them, and then they say thank you, and you say have a great day, and you may not ever see that person again. Yeah. We do largely the same thing. Yeah, we do largely the same thing. We help Archimeg. We are staying in touch through the interpreter. We're Facebook friends now, so we will keep track. Through Samaritan's Purse, we were able to connect with the children that we've operated on since 2001.
A follow-up. You're talking about following up. Yeah.
So we were able to find out where these children are today. One of the children just graduated law school. Another is a businessman in Uganda with 3 children. Some of the younger kids are in 2nd and 3rd grade and loving life and having a great future. So
so you do a follow-up that would keep that scrapbook going.
Yeah, exactly. And the second thing that we do, which also revolves around heart operations, is we send a team out from Albany Medical Center to the Philippines or Romania or Bolivia, and there's other countries that we go to, and that team. Actually takes their vacation time at Albany Med, and they go on these global vocational training trips. Yeah. So they not only are operating on the children there, in about a week they'll operate on 10 to 15 children and save the lives of 10 to 15 children.
So there's another program that
exactly, and the cost per child is a lot cheaper. That's about $600 to $3,600, depending on the country that we're in. So the math makes a lot more sense to send more teams out, but the feel and the touch, if you will, that you get when you see the child it's irreplaceable. Plus, that child, Archimeg, they do not have medical intervention in their home country. They didn't have access to it.
It's just not available.
It's not available.
It's not that they don't want to give it to you; they just don't have it.
They don't have it. Yeah.
So you're having a fundraiser at the Fairways.
Yes, Fairways definitely.
Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Who can we get to go there?
Everybody. So it's a golf event. It's September 24th at the Fairways of Half Moon. It's our something like 27th or 28th golf tournament. It's been very successful. We always have great weather. It's a beautiful day. And not only if you feel like you want to help but you don't golf, you can buy a foursome for somebody else. You can also buy a flag tee. You can sponsorships are as low as $150 up to $10,000, so it's something for everybody. And we usually have about 120 golfers there. It's a very successful day, and we raise about $17,000 from that event.
What will $17,000 buy you?
Well, if we look at an outgoing program, that can save the lives of anywhere from about 10 to actually almost 15, down to 5 or 6 children, depending on where we're going.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
We're doing an outgoing program this month in Romania and another outgoing program in Bolivia at the end of the year.
This is amazing. Who does all the coordination?
We have a parent organization, Gift of Life International. And they work for the Rotary Foundation, and they work through Rotary clubs, and they work through the countries in country.
This is an amazing program, and I mean it just shows that we have a heart somewhere that we
send out the best ambassadors out into the world. Everybody loves the United States of America when they go home. They love us. We send out the best ambassadors.
Yeah, because they know that our heart is in it when we do it. Yeah,
right. And we do it for free.
So how did you get involved with this, Tom?
I was asked to be on the board because I ran my Del Mar Rotary Golf Club or Rotary Club golf tournament, and they said, "Oh, you can do a golf tournament. Come run ours.
We need you.
Yeah, come on board." So I did that, and for a couple of years, and then the outgoing president asked me to join, and I said no, and he said, "Well, we'll just shut it down then." And I thought, "You can't do that. Now it's my fault. Don't do that." You know. So I've been doing this since 2010.
Yeah.
So I'm in my 16th year or so, and I'm particularly proud of the first year we raised $99,000 for an outgoing global vocational training trip, 2 weeks in El Salvador and 1 week in Jamaica. And we operate on 10 to 15 children in each one of those weeks.
Amazing.
That El Salvador program is still running today. There's other organizations that helped start that and continue.
But you work together.
That El Salvador program operated on 200 children last year alone. So it's a sustainable program. We're not just going in doing one thing
But the fact that
quick.
there's so much of a need.
There's a huge need.
That's
And it's an unending need, unfortunately.
Yes, because there's always a new baby coming along.
Yes, there is.
So anyway.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much, Tom, for coming on the show and telling our viewers a little bit about this. They can certainly support by going to the golf, but you know what? If you don't want golf, write them a check. Hey, you know.
Our website's on the screen. So
Yeah, good. Just do it, right?
Thank you, Ann. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you good fortune with it all.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Going forward. Yeah, good. And now we have, Saratoga Voices is here. Yes. We're hitting it all today, aren't we? We got the Albany Symphony, and now we got you guys on, and you're doing Handel's Alexander's Feast. I send out a weekly email, you know that.
Yeah.
Someone in North Carolina is on my list, and they said, "I've never heard of Alexander's Feast. What is that?" And I said, "Well, you're going to have to watch the show to find out," but I think Handel wrote it along with a lot of other stuff. So tell us a little bit. No,
Yes, so it turns out that Handel did indeed write other pieces other than just Messiah.
Really? What a shock.
He has a massive output, not as big as Bach, his contemporary, but still quite large. And one of the things that's so wonderful is how much of it is in English, especially the great choral oratorios.
Did he write it no, he wrote it in German, didn't he?
He wrote it in English, yes, indeed.
Handel?
Yes. Handel wrote mostly in English and Italian. And of course, he didn't usually write the words himself. There are a few exceptions where he did write the lyrics. In fact, there's
this is a surprise. Yeah.
The very closing movement of this work, Alexander's Feast, is a text that Handel wrote himself to sort of sum up the show. But the bulk of the text is by John Dryden, the 17th century British poet.
So they kind of paraphrased it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So how long is the piece?
It's about 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Yeah, and we'll have an intermission in the middle as well.
But I just saw on Facebook that you're looking for accomplished singers?
Yes, so immediately following the concert, a week from, today's Wednesday, right? Yes, in exactly a week, we'll be having auditions for new choristers. So you can go on our website if you're interested in singing with us, and there's contact info and all of that to sign up for auditions.
What would the qualifications be? I mean, do they have to read music? Do they just have good sound, or tell me?
Yeah, so the main quality we look for is musicianship. So the ability to read music is an absolute must. And then beyond that, we test for ear training and things like this to make sure that folks can do a certain amount of sight reading and have oral skills. But really, we encourage everybody, please come out and audition, and particularly basses and tenors, we're looking for you out there, because it's always harder to find gentlemen to sing. So we really encourage people to come out to audition.
There's a lot of talent out there, and of course, there's a lot of groups that are singing. I mean, you've got the octavo singers, so there's a lot. Is there any cross-pollination there?
There's definitely cross-pollination in the sense that we have some singers who also sing with octavo singers. We've also had singers who have sung with Albany Pro Musica. I am also the assistant director of Albany Pro Musica, and sing with them sometimes as well. Yes, exactly.
Can you sing in this one too?
Yes, it's a wonderful sharing community that we have in the Capital Region.
Yeah. So tell us about the production itself.
Yes. So Alexander's Feast, it's a marvelous oratorio, like I said, on scale with Messiah and any of these other fantastic
90
works.
minutes, yeah.
90 minutes, yes. We have 3 operatic soloists joining us. Lauren Nash Silberstein, soprano, who's been our guest many times in the past.
Local or do they come in?
She's from Clifton Park, yep.
Okay.
But she also sings all over the country with the regional opera companies. We have Andrew Boisvert, who actually lives down the block from me in Canaan. That's where his folks are, but he's also touring nationally. Incredible basso profundo, young, incredible singing actor. And finally, I'm delighted to be inviting tenor Maximilian Jansen, who I've worked with through Opera Saratoga and many other places in the past. He is really a fine singing actor, and he has a lot of the recitative storytelling moments in this piece, so that'll be a really nice feature.
Yeah, Opera Saratoga was supposed to be on the show and they couldn't make it.
Oh, shucks.
So that
Okay.
was one of those things that I do a lot of little juggling here and
Yeah.
there, but Birnbaum just said, I can't make that. So I do know that they do a lot of wonderful work too,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, in fact, Maximilian was an apprentice artist with them the same season that I was an assistant conductor there, so we worked together there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have, so who does the orchestration on this? I mean, is there...
So the orchestra, we have an orchestra of 20 players, including both a harpsichord player and a principal cello player that are both coming from Juilliard. The cellist is a student, and the harpsichord player, Nico Consano, is actually a staff harpsichord player at Juilliard, so they'll be coming up to join us. And in fact, that's a real highlight of the show, because in addition to the harpsichord playing in the formal numbers, the harpsichord also leads the recitativo numbers, which is, again, sort of the storytelling part of the music.
Yeah, this is amazing. So my question is, this has got to cost you some money. So how do you get outside funding from the arts, or do you just have to rely on ticket prices?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So we have some corporate funding, most notably from Stewart's, which is a really fond
they're
sponsor
very
of ours.
supportive.
Yeah, but the vast majority of it comes from individual donations. And if you're interested in supporting the choir, you can go to SaratogaVoices.org. That's our website, and it's very easy to donate online. And then, of course, ticket sales as well. But you know, everybody overestimates how much ticket sales go towards funding these organizations. It's really the largesse and generosity of people in the community that make it
support
happen.
it.
Yeah.
What does it, this may be a personal question you don't want to answer, I don't know, but what would the cost of a production like that run, roughly? I'm curious because you got ticket sales, you got sponsorship, and I'm involved in another organization that puts out productions and things, and sometimes the cost of the venue and the this and the that and the other thing can be staggering.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, for this spring concert on Saturday, it's somewhere in the ballpark of between 10 and 15,000.
It's reasonable.
So,
I mean, that's what I would expect.
Yeah, yeah. And that's just one of our 4 events per year, so it adds up.
Yeah, and I think, I'm not sure that everyone realizes that whenever you pick a venue, you got to pay.
That's right.
Yeah, because I know we did one at the Egg, and I was staggering. You got to, whoa, and you got to pay for tickets and this, and it's like, you know.
Yeah.
So it does add up. So the important thing that I guess I'm trying to stress is that they do need your support, and it's not just the tickets; it's everything else that you can give that would be helpful. And I'm sure you have. Do you have any fundraisers?
Yes, in fact, next year, which is going to be our 250th America celebration anniversary season of American choral music, we're going to be doing a really fun gala. The date's not set yet, but it will be sometime after the new year at the Van Patten Golf Club. And
nice.
we'll have, that's our regular gala venue, and we'll have a celebration of immigrant composers with an emphasis on Jewish musical theater.
Oh,
so that'll be a
wonderful.
lot of fun.
Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful production, though, and fundraiser. So we want people to be aware, and you have to come on and talk about the fundraiser so that we get
That would be great.
Get some energy behind it, and make sure that you get some a lot of talent.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to come back in the fall and talk about the entire, 26,
We'll
27
do
season.
that. I'll get you in
Yeah.
September. Yeah,
Great.
good. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Noah,
Thank
for
you,
being here.
Ann.
It's always a pleasure to talk with such creative people, and I know you're the artistic director, and every time I talk to people that are, talent, I don't want to say people, but talent that comes on to talk about, there's such a passion that you exude for what you do and the music that you embrace. So yeah, I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being there and bringing it to us.
Thank you, Ann.
We're going to switch over and we're talking about the Spina Bifida. What's going on, Julie? It's so good to see you.
It's always good to see you.
Yes, I know you've been on the show before. And I guess we always start off by, what is Spina Bifida?
Yes, we do. Thank you for having me, Anne. I know you're familiar, but spina bifida is a birth defect that occurs in the first month of pregnancy when the spinal column is forming. The most simple way to describe it is it's compared to being born with a spinal cord injury. So depending on where it occurs on the spine, the type of spina bifida, all of that impacts how someone is affected physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what would the effect be?
So when spina bifida is occurring in that first month of
And
pregnancy,
can they correct it?
there are some interventions that can help close the opening sooner. And
If it's discovered.
if it's discovered, correct. So spina bifida can be discovered in utero during some maternal testing. Not all tests are accurate. Say a woman or a family receives a potential diagnosis, they'd go on to get some further testing, and then they do have some options. There's in utero surgery. There's very specific eligibility requirements that families need to meet in order to qualify for that surgery, including, being uprooted from their home and being on bed rest for multiple months. But the sooner the spina bifida is, they say repaired, but it's not cured, the less impact it has on the person because there's less damage to the nerves in the spinal column.
Would it be like paralysis or?
Yes, so there is also the post-utero surgery, and that's again putting the nerves back, covering the opening on the spine. And ultimately, almost everyone with spina bifida may have some paralysis and orthopedic needs. They may have some different internal disorders. Hydrocephalus is really common.
Yeah, which is water on the brain.
Exactly. Really common in our community.
And they put a tube in, right?
Oh, yeah. So they will place a shunt to drain the fluid out more
Into
naturally.
the stomach, yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's honestly what they have come up with for people with spina bifida is really incredible to allow them to live and lead long and meaningful lives. We're seeing now that some of these procedures that adults had when they were children with spina bifida, and maybe they weren't expected to live these long lives, we're seeing problems, and we're seeing a care cliff for our adults because they weren't expected to be here. These surgeries, these treatments weren't expected to last decades. And so while medical advancements are wonderful, we are also always playing catch up because we have a large group of adults, and we, as a nationwide society, we're not prepared for this.
Yeah, I mean, because is there any way to prevent it before when you find out you're pregnant? I mean, what?
Yeah.
But of course, if you're saying it's the first month, it might be you don't even know you're pregnant.
Oh yeah, it's very rare.
So anybody in childbearing should be taking vitamins, right?
Correct, and you nailed it. So what I like to say, what the organization, our stance, is if you are a woman and you have hit puberty, you can take a women's multivitamin, and almost always that will have
folic acid.
Exactly. It will have 400 micrograms, which is the recommended amount. So if you are planning a pregnancy, you want to take 400 micrograms 30 days before conception and 30 days into that first month of pregnancy.
But you can take it all the time. It's certainly
it's
folic
not
acid.
It's not going to hurt you. Yeah. I mean,
folic acid is very important for your body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're seeing so many laws right now too about fortifying more foods with folic acid as a natural way to
make sure people are getting it, like
yes,
breads and things like that.
Exactly.
But then they're not eating bread because they're worried about their weight. So
I know. We got all the problems.
You got all the issues there that, it's difficult.
It is, yeah. And ultimately with like folic acid, you're not going to get enough from your diet. We can help, but it really
Come
is
from meat and
recommended
things, yeah,
to take
yeah.
that extra vitamin. And I think, you know, I'm a girl. I care about my hair, my skin, my nails. These multivitamins, they help us in so many ways, and the folic acid is just a piece of it, so that, yeah, if something happens.
But make sure when you look at the folic acid that you get a proper amount. I've been
Correct.
taking 400 micrograms of folic acid since I've been 20, I think.
Yeah, yep.
It's just like, I think it's a good one to have.
It
and
is.
So,
It is.
So take it.
Exactly.
If you're a
why
woman,
not?
take it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you're a
that's-
man too, you should.
Why not? That is exactly the education we do on prevention, because we're not here to prevent spina bifida. We are here to serve the thousands of people living with it, their families, and all of that. But yeah, if we can educate on ways to prevent neural tube defects like spina bifida, we are absolutely going to. Folic acid is not a guarantee. There's a lot of moms we know.
No, I know.
Yes,
It's
you
just-
know.
It's just, you just hope that that's the.
Yeah, folic acid has the definite relation to the neural tube forming, but there's like a lot of moms have taken it and still had a child with spina bifida,
Yeah.
or there's twins and one has spina bifida and one
The other
doesn't,
one.
which is like
Really?
make
Is
it
that
make sense.
true?
Yes, genetic twins. Some have spina bifida, some don't. Yeah.
I did not know that.
I
thought they
know.
would both probably.
You would think like science that would make sense, but I know I can't be a doctor.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's and you know, there's so many complications too with people that do have, like you say, we kind of follow up and try and follow it. But one of the things you do is raise money.
Yes.
So
yeah.
we're going to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk too about
Walk-N-Roll.
The Walk-N-Roll, and so that is our premier fundraiser. We're having our 16th one in Schenectady this year. Every year it gets bigger and
bigger
better.
and bigger, yeah.
Yes, hundreds of people. What I'm excited about this year is Sch'dy is coming and bringing.
Oh, Sch'dy. And of course, Sch'dy, you should give a shout out for Sch'dy.
We always,
yeah.
yes. So Sch'dy, and honestly, this goes
Sports,
into
yeah.
physical health, mental health, and the importance of adaptive recreation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a Paralympic year. We had Paralympian athletes with spina bifida who, took the stage and competed. And so we like to highlight adaptive sports, especially when that's happening.
And every sport seems to be adaptive.
It can be.
Skiing, I mean, when I saw skiing, I thought, oh my God.
And honestly, it sounds so intimidating. Like the ways that they can help people with various abilities get in equipment and experience, whether it's doing an individual, you're skiing down the hill, or a team sport, you're playing sled hockey, you're playing basketball, you're playing tennis. They really have the full gamut. And we know from the Spina Bifida Association standpoint, the earlier that individuals with spina bifida get involved in recreation, doesn't always need to be adaptive depending on what the person's needs are, that is going to help promote overall quality of health, or health and quality of life for them as they are teenagers and adults. When mental health, when support services decrease, they have a direct avenue for social support, for mental health support, and for physical support. So we love organizations that offer adaptive recreation and inclusive recreation, because that is, again, it's a one-stop shop for a lot of our folks who want to be healthy and want to do it in an enjoyable way. I don't think any of us
There's no
enjoy
exclusion.
miserable workouts or
no
anything.
exclusion.
Yeah, or like just eating lettuce and plain chicken.
I had to laugh because they had the sled hockey.
Yeah.
And I guess the team, the people in sled hockey, played against, I think it was RPI or Union College, and they had to use the same equipment.
Yes.
And it was an amazing.
Have you ever tried getting in like a basketball chair or a tennis chair? It is so fun. And that's the best part about adaptive sports too, is like, say you are someone who doesn't have a disability, like you can go try it. They would be happy to teach you. Yeah, and like they enjoy it. Like I get on their level, I get in a chair and I'm playing basketball, and I was like, this is intense. It was fun. I was sweating. Like it really is just so positive.
Yeah.
But
so when they had another team playing in the same equipment, it was like they were just like, oh, this is hard.
it's a lot to learn, honestly. It's
Yeah.
that you said it. It's a really good way to educate people on the experiences of someone who uses a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And it helps you become so much more aware of your surroundings. And then you realize just all the subtle inaccessibilities in the world and how little changes can really make us a more inclusive society.
Yes.
But it does kind of start with that empathy experience of being in a chair.
Once
and knowing
you realize
what it's like.
what it's like to, and I think sometimes when somebody breaks a leg or does something that they have to use a walker or they have to use something temporarily, and then they realize what it must be like for someone who's living with this day in and day out, and they can't get up a curb and they can't
Yes.
get into a building, or they can't,
You know what I hear a lot is moms. So like moms with strollers because they're going out with their kids. It's like, okay, how is she supposed to get up the stairs? She needs that ramp too, or the dad could be pushing the stroller.
Yeah.
But it really is like access and universal design work for so many populations. It does not need to be a special treatment of people with
that's
spina
what my
bifida.
point is,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Like there's so many people who benefit from access and universal design. And exactly, it takes empathy to see it, and then once you see it, it's hard not to.
Well, I broke a leg, I broke an ankle, and I was in a cast, and I could barely walk because it was so bad. We went out to dinner, and the bathroom was on the second floor, and there was no elevator.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I went up sitting on my butt going up
Yep.
the stairs.
I've seen that plenty. But like,
So, I mean, there you have it. I mean, it's like, I don't have a disability year in, year out, but temporarily I did, and it made me realize this restaurant should have a on the ground floor.
well, right, because one time it's okay to kind of climb up the stairs, on your bottom. But it's kind of taking away dignity when people have to do it all the time. They're crawling around because there isn't accessible.
I mean, I laughed about it. It was a big joke. But
Exactly, and our community has that resilience too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. You have to do so much forethought if you're going to go somewhere on like, is the bathroom accessible? Is the entrance accessible? Is parking accessible? So people with spina bifida have had no choice but to be really resourceful, really thinking ahead, and really solving problems because they live in an inaccessible world.
Yeah, and I think that if you do any event that you're planning, always ask if it's handicap accessible. It may be someone who's temporarily has an issue. They've had a hip replacement or something,
Yes.
and they can't get in and out easily.
So many supports and like agencies that help with modifications, universal design, all of that. And to kind of get back to the walk and roll.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
Yes.
Central Park.
Yes, that's a really big fundraiser for us. It's a peer-to-peer fundraiser. Individuals and families kind of rally around the person with spina bifida, and we have music and family games and activities and vendors like Sch'dy to help raise awareness about supports available. Equipment providers are there. It's really a beautiful event and a way to celebrate the spina bifida community in an accessible and meaningful.
way.
Exactly.
It's
It's
fun,
empowering, it's fun, it's all the things that we want them to have every day in the world,
Celebrate,
and they
yeah.
just get it for that few hours.
And what date is that?
It is Sunday, May 17th,
Okay.
Central Park in Schenectady
Coming
from
up
10
soon.
to 1. Exactly. Anyone who would like to support can visit our social media, our website, and they will see information on the walk and roll. They can donate. We're still looking for volunteers. They can attend. It's free. It's open to the public.
And
so
if you want to sponsor it,
yeah,
we'd love that
yep,
too.
not
right?
too late for that either. The
Yeah.
more the merrier.
Good. Thank you so much, Julie, for
Thanks,
being
Ann.
here, and I hope that you have a very successful event and raise a lot of money. I want to tell you who's coming up in the next show. We're going to have the Chinese Community Center. We have Myanmar, a multi-ethnic socio-culture association as well. I wanted to get that all in. We're talking veterans groups, Memorial Day celebrations, Sizzle and Steak productions, the Seroptimus Garden Tour, so we have a pretty good lineup. And I also want to wish you all, whoever celebrates, a happy Mother's Day. And that photo is from some of the stuff I got last year for Mother's Day, so I had to share it all with you. But do have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching Capital Region today. We're so happy that you're joining us, and please join in a lot of these activities that we've been talking about. I'm Ann Perillo, host of Capital Region Today.